Hello and welcome to another video. I hope you enjoy your stay. Please leave a like and subscribe if you feel like I've earned it. I will not be wasting any more of your time, so let's get straight into the video. Vinland Saga is an incredible anime and manga. I don't think enough people understand just how good the story truly is. I'll be getting into the first two seasons of the anime, so don't worry about too much spoilers about the story. Let's meet our main character, Thorfinn. Just a child without a care in the world, a child with the only thing on his mind is great adventure. His father, a Viking warrior that abandoned fighting in order to pursue a peaceful life with his wife. Thorfinn is told what it means to be a warrior through Thor's teaching, seeing his father save a dying slave just so he can be put to rest. Seeing such a powerful and strong man show compassion wasn't something Thorfinn could totally understand at such a young age, but after all, he knew his father was a great man. Thorfinn has so much love and admiration for his father, which I think is the reason that he goes down the path of violence so fast and so out of control. A while has passed and Thor is asked to rejoin the war due to him not being allowed to abandon his post. Little does he know he's going to be confronted by Askeladd, another Viking that is contracted with killing Thor. The fight between Thor and Askeladd was beautiful. Seeing a towering man versus a cunning warrior was remarkable to see. Thor wins the duel against Askeladd, but unfortunately doesn't win the war. He is shot with a fury of arrows and dies standing up, just like the legend Whitebeard himself. Hey, you like that one, right? I put a nice little One Piece reference in there. Back on a serious note, I wanted to point out a couple of things. First off, Thor doesn't kill anyone during his fight, but drastically overpowers his foe with little difficulty, staying on the path of no more killing. Askeladd, on the other hand, is someone who will do anything to achieve his goal and is able to kill Thor, but knowing that he couldn't beat him alone. At least he gave him the respect to let Thor know he won the duel and allowed Thorfinn to be spared due to his wishes. This is where I think Thorfinn's character takes a nosedive into rage. After being spared, he sneaks on the attached boat connected to Askeladd's ship. He is consumed with rage and yelling and declaring that he will, no matter what, kill Askeladd. I like to draw attention to the men on the ship as he's screaming this vow. They are in utter shock that a child would declare such a statement, but also draw attention to his eyes. Thorfinn is lost in his bloodlusted rage. Thor's wasn't the only person that died that day. Thorfinn's innocence was killed that day as well. Thorfinn, in a way, joins the group of Vikings. Askeladd trains him to be of use to him. Thorfinn loses over and over and over again to Askeladd. For years, Thorfinn will be traveling with Askeladd. Thorfinn is at the point he has killed so many people and will continue to until he reaches his goal, revenge. We get to go in the future many years later to the point where Prince Canute has been captured, and Askeladd sees this as an opportunity to rescue the prince and get himself closer to the King of England. I also want to point out how much of the story shifts its focal point from being about Thorfinn to being more about Askeladd and himself as a person. I like the shift and I feel like it's very organic and inviting, but I do understand people will kind of see it as a weird shift away from Thorfinn, even though he is the main character. Askeladd gets into the position to achieve his goal. He has to return Prince Canute to the King of England, yet this wasn't his goal. I want to take a moment to hear the line from Askeladd. I think it's the best line delivered in the first season.
そりゃあだ名だ。我が母より授かりし真の名を教えてやろう。ルキウス・アルトリウス・カストゥス。よこそがこのブリタニアの地を滑るべき正統の王である。
Askeladd killed the King of England and goes on a killing rampage for those who oppose him, allowing Prince Canute to deal the final blow to his heart. Thorfinn, seeing this, is just broken. The person he swore to kill had been taken from him. With his last dying breath, Askeladd offers himself to Thorfinn in his dying state. Of course, Thorfinn refuses because he wants to win in a duel. Askeladd's last words to Thorfinn are, "How do you plan to live your life and to become a true warrior?" After Askeladd's passing, Thorfinn is lost. His goal, gone. He is empty, nothing to live for, nowhere to go. Thorfinn is then sold into slavery at this time, and he loses the will to live for tomorrow. I wanted to give a little bit of a warning because I am getting into season 2 stuff, so if you don't want to get spoiled, please leave. But I also want to give a warning because if you're coming into this season expecting the same type of action as season 1, you are gravely mistaken. I like to think of these two seasons as two sides of a spectrum. Season 1 being extremely violent with tons of action and gore to the point where it becomes mindless violence. Then on the opposite side of the spectrum would be Season 2, where it takes its time to explore the effects of killing that it has on Thorfinn. I do love this part of the story. Thorfinn has lost his reason to live, and with the help of Ignar, he can see himself being able to come back from the depth that he has fallen into. Without giving away too much, we have a time skip to Thorfinn and his life as a slave on the farm. Ignar is also introduced and plays a role of hope due to the master giving them the opportunity to work for their freedom. Ignar is delighted that he's able to earn his freedom, even if it's for a long period of time. He has a bit of farming experience and he lends it to Thorfinn to see how he can create something rather than destroy. Something I want to focus on is Thorfinn's dreams. He sees endless fighting and corpses of the people he has killed clinging on to him, dragging him down into what I would call hell. It is almost like the literal definition of the weight of your action. He is carrying the burden of all the lives he has taken. It is easy just to let go, to fall into the abyss of nothingness and to be swallowed by it. Yet, Thorfinn learns what he wants to fight for. A place with no slaves, no wars. Vinland. This is where I'm going to conclude my explanation about the story. I just want to come back around and tell you to read this masterpiece of a manga. It is a story about self-improvement, true strength, and what it means to be a warrior. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. I would love to know your favorite part of Vinland Saga so far. Please wait until the end of the video to hear from our sponsors. Thank you again, and I'll see you when I see you.
This video is sponsored by Naruto vs. Ichigo. If you want to support the project, there will be a link to the Patreon below. There are many different levels of support, most of which give you access to Discord, behind-the-scenes exclusive content, and work-in-progress updates. Thank you for anything that you can contribute.